Hi, I'm Jen Roberts, and I'm going to show you how I use view-only folders with my students so that they can see the work that I share with them but not be able to edit it. So for example, I have this model essay that I wrote in front of the class, and I want them to be able to see it, but I don't want them to be able to mess it up or make changes to it that might affect other students. So I'm going to add it to their view-only folder. Organize my view-only folder within my American Lit folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it to that. Click Move. And now students will see this in their view-only folder. If I go to their view-only folder, I'll be able to see all the other things that I've shared with them throughout the school year that they've been able to see but not make changes to. They can, however, make their own copy of the document, and then they have editing rights on their own copy. To create a view-only folder, I first need some information about my students, and I'm going to use a Google form to collect it. So I'm going to call this form View. I'll just use the default theme for now. And I need to know their name. But their name is not multiple choice, so I'm going to change it to a text box. And I also need to know their Gmail. And just in case, and because I have a lot of students, I want to know what period they're in. So let's say 1, 2, 3, or 4, for example, and 5. My form is done. I can now view my live form. This is what I would send to my students. I would use this URL up here. I could post this on my blog. I could post it on my website. I could even use goo.gl to convert it to a short link and just write the short link on the board and ask students to go there and fill out this form. This would allow me to collect their Gmail addresses, their names, and oops, apparently option 5 for their period. So going back to my form for a minute, I'm going to need to choose a response destination. I'm going to select New Spreadsheet because it's the default. Create that. It takes a second to set that up. Once it's set up, I can view the responses in that spreadsheet. And this column here, assuming my students had all filled out the form, would be filled with their Gmail addresses. So I would come over here and copy this column, and then I'd go back to my drive. To create a view-only folder, of course, you need a folder. So I click Create, choose Folder. In this case, I'm going to call it View Only for period 1, and say Create. Then I need to give that folder those permissions, the sharing settings for my students. So I'll say Share. And I'd come down here to this box and I would paste in the names of all the Gmail addresses that I got from collecting them on my form. And here's the important part. Over here on the right hand side, it says Can Edit. That's the default. We want to change it to Can View. Now when I click Share and Save, my students will all get a view-only folder from me, and anything I add to that folder they will be able to see but not make any changes to. And that's why I use it.